Fortnitemares is finally over, but there was a situation that happened during Fortnitemares that I pretty much can't ignore. And that actually has to do with the item shops, or more or less seasonal shops in general, because it feels like Epic Games is completely messing up these shops. So today I wanted to talk about this here with you all, because this cannot be more true. Oh, and also I would love to know down below in the comment section your thoughts about this whole situation, because it's absolutely ridiculous. Also, if you guys like the content that you see, subscribe to the channel, it helps out a lot. And also, consider using my support code, which is Mino5 in the Fortnite item shop. It helps out tremendously. But ladies and gentlemen, let's hop right into the video. Now, during this year's Fortnitemares, I was noticing something pretty interesting within the item shop. And it really got me thinking, what in the world are they trying to do with the shop now? Because if you guys never noticed, throughout the entirety of Fortnitemares, it seemed like that Epic Games was putting in a bunch of very random cosmetics into the item shop. I'm not even kidding, they were just putting in a bunch of random skins that were from just normal item shop rotations, like Raven was there out of nowhere, even though he has its own Halloween variant. And even like winter skins were being sold in this shop section, which was just very weird to see. And it felt a little off. I can understand that, yeah, they do look creepy, and I understand that kind of fits the Fortnitemares theme, but Epic Games has like this huge catalog of original Fortnite skins that they made for Fortnitemares, or just cosmetics in general. So it did feel a little weird for them to include like normal shop cosmetics that come back pretty much almost every other week, making this not really that special other than the new stuff. However, this did really cost one thing here, and that was for Epic Games to not re-release a bunch of cosmetics, and this was a really bad year for that as well. Which is also another really huge issue with seasonal shops, is that it seems like that Epic Games just doesn't re-release almost everything, and I am expecting that to happen. I'm not expecting Epic Games to drop every single little thing that was from a seasonal event, like Halloween, for example, or Christmas. I'm not expecting them to release everything into the item shop during that month. However, I am expecting a pretty big chunk of that to come out, and this year, for Fortnitemares, they left out a lot of cosmetics, and some of them were just really crazy. Like, some of the skins that they left out this year were honestly really wild, like the Good Doctor, and even like the zombie soccer skins. That one shocked me. I didn't even know that they didn't even come back this year, but they didn't. That's really shocking to me. They even forgot some more pickaxes. They even forgot a few wraps, back blings, and they even forgot pretty much almost every emote that has come out for Fortnitemares throughout the past few years that was original. Zombie Shambles, I mean, come on, that one's pretty obvious. That hasn't even come back in over half a decade at this point. Even though that emote's been promoted throughout the entirety of last month, might I add, inside of YouTube Shorts. They know this emote exists, but they refuse to bring it back, and no one knows why. But then they also decide to forget Zombified again, Fright Funk again, Which Way again, and Pump It Up, which I understand that emote has a lawsuit that happened with it. I don't know if that's still active to this very point, but I mean, that emote should just come back into the item shop regardless. The only emote that actually came out during this time, which was an original, that wasn't new, might I add, was Treat Yourself. That was literally the only emote. Everything else didn't return, which was absolutely embarrassing. But then there was the collaborations. You know, another huge thing that people really look forward to inside of seasonal events, especially for Fortnitemares. We obviously have the normal contenders to make it into this video here, like the Universal Monsters and the Ghostbuster cosmetics. Those didn't return again this year. At this point, I don't even think they're ever going to return, and that's a damn shame, because I know there was a lot of people who have been asking for like the Ghostbusters to return, and they haven't returned in years, which is absolutely crazy. But then we also have two of them, which I'm pretty shocked about. The first one is actually Alan Wake. I know people don't really care enough for this character, but I know there are people out there who are fans of this character in general, and have been waiting for this skin to return, and obviously it did not re-release. Then there was also Resident Evil again. Technically, I know this isn't a Fortnitemares collab, but I would consider it because it was released during Fortnitemares and it was promoted as one, I would say, so I would count it here. Even though this one I can actually see coming back next year, because there is a new collab that is happening for the new Resident Evil game, so don't worry guys, this will probably return. But the worst one of all was Michael Myers. How in the world did this skin not return? I've been seeing people actually comment on one of my old shorts that I made from over a year ago discussing the whole rumors of the skin not returning. And while it did return earlier in 2025, it didn't return for Fortnitemares, which was honestly shocking. You know, one of the most popular skins from Fortnitemares ever, and you don't re-release it. Like, are you kidding me? It probably had to do with some form of the rights to the franchise or whatever the hell. But man, that was absolutely devastating to see people get so sad because they can't get this skin. I feel so bad for people who don't have Michael Myers, who are waiting for him to come out this year. Like, ladies and gentlemen, seasonal shops are in such a very weird state now. It feels like that Epic Games is pretty much not re-releasing a bunch of stuff that honestly deserves to return to the item shop, like Zombie Shambles. I don't know why that actually hasn't returned in forever. I'm glad that Dante returned finally after 5 years, but there are some things that should just come back seasonally throughout an event, like Halloween, for example. The main emotes that people love about this event, like Fright Funk, should return annually in October. Same thing with Winterfest. You should have the Winterfest cosmetics return during December, and so on and so forth. It feels like that Epic Games is really trying to mess up the seasonal shops, and that is honestly really sad. I hope that Winterfest does not fall under the same boat as Fortnitemares 2025 did in terms of the item shops, because it's getting me a bit worried for the future of seasonal item shops for seasonal events inside the game. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today's video. I really hope you all enjoyed. If you did happen to enjoy this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to check out my Twitter, AKMX account. Also, don't forget to use my support code within the Fortnite item shop. That's Mino5, that's MINO5. Please and thank you. Thank you all so much for watching. I love every single one of you. Remember, everyone, it's always good to take chances.